Good morning, pirates. Well, it's always debatable whether the world should allow me to be me. It's quite interesting. Anyway, today we're going to work on health lesson 9.4, staying drug free. We're going to read this textbook, and then you guys are going to create a poster stating why we should stay drug free. You're going to, design almost like an infograph, a poster. You're gonna color, you're gonna make it look pretty. Okay. Let's go into here, and I will put this video on after I'm done reading. So please follow along as I read. Thank you. Every time you are what God's greener. There it goes. No, right. Bye. Okay. What activities do you enjoy most? It says write a paragraph explaining how alcohol and other drugs could interfere with your favorite activities. Again, we're not going to write a paragraph, but we're going to talk about that in class. We're going to learn about ways to avoid using alcohol and drugs, the laws about substance abuse, and how families of substance abusers can find help. We'll write down the words and vocab for substance abuse and alternative. So, lesson 9.4, staying drug-free. Why you should avoid alcohol and drugs. Feeling good and looking your best during your teenage years means saying no to substance abuse, which is the use of illegal or harmful drugs, including any use of alcohol while under the legal drinking limit. Most young people across the nation are drug-free and proud of it. By staying substance-free, you and they will stay healthy and ready for life. Figure 9.7 shows you many reasons to avoid alcohol and other drugs. Again, refusal made easy. There are many good reasons to avoid alcohol and other drugs. What other reasons can you add to the ones listed here? Reasons to avoid alcohol. Any alcohol use is against the law for teens. Alcohol can be addictive. People who drink may have trouble controlling their bodies and emotions. They become clumsy and often do or say things they regret later. Drinking can make people feel sick to their stomachs. Drinking can lead to a lack of judgment and loss of control, often ending in violence. Drinking does not solve problems, it creates them. Responsible adults do not want teens to use alcohol. Alcohol ruins your ability to think. You can have fun without consuming alcohol. So at this point, we're going to pause, and I'll say, what are some other reasons to avoid alcohol? Obviously, at your teenage years. Again, until you are legally able to drink. And even when you're legally able to drink, you should not abuse alcohol. So let's pause. Unpause. Reasons to avoid drugs. Well, there's several legal penalties for using, severe legal penalties for using drugs. Many drugs are addictive. Drugs can cause permanent damage to a person's physical and mental health. Many drugs can be fatal even the first time they are used. Again, you've heard me say numerous times, children, that again, your brain is the most important organ in your body. It tells every other organ in your body to work. Doing certain drugs causes holes in your brain and just screws up your brain. Think of getting your Xbox, your phone, anything like that wet, how it'll mess up how it works. That's basically the same thing with drugs. That is basically getting your brain wet, and once you get that computer wet, it's not going to work as well. Many illegal drugs are produced by untrained people. Harmful and untested chemicals, including rat poison, may be added to these drugs, making their effects completely unpredictable. Page 247. Social studies. In 2000, the National Youth Anti-Drug Media Campaign asked young people between the ages of 10 and 17 to tell what stood between them and drugs. Thousands responded with essays, poems, videos, paintings, music, and even single-word answers. From friends and family to singing and sports, these kids showed that most young people don't use drugs. How would you respond? Again, we'll pause. Unpause. The law is on your side. In all states, a person must be 21 years old to legally possess or purchase alcohol. In addition, many laws ban the use of dangerous drugs. Some drugs, such as morphine and codeine, are illegal except for certain medical uses. Drugs such as heroin, LSD, and crack are always illegal. Selling any of these on the street or near schools is a crime with serious penalties. Like other dangerous drugs, marijuana is illegal. The penalties for use and possession vary from state to state. Depending on where a person is caught and how much marijuana he or she has, a person can pay a large fine and serve lengthy jail time. Again, yes, children, we understand that at the age of 21, an ounce or less in Colorado, it is legal by the state of Colorado. It's also legal by the state of Colorado. Marijuana is for medicinal purposes. But it's still illegal federally, meaning if the federal government decide to bust you for certain things, you can get busted for federal crimes. And yes, you just cannot, just because marijuana is legal in Colorado, does not mean that you can grow it just in your house willy-nilly. The state does allow people to, I'll look that up as we're doing this. I do believe the state allows people to grow a certain amount of their plants for private use. But for private use, you just can't sell it to people. That's still illegal. You have to have a license in this state to be able to grow enough plants and sell them for profit purposes legally in Colorado. Ways to stay substance free. Pressure to use alcohol and drugs may come from many sources. Advertisements and some peers may try to convince you that drinking and using drugs is cool. Pressure can also come from within. Some young people might think that they will fit in better if they drink or use drugs. Others might try alcohol or drugs to prove that they are not afraid of it. The best way to refuse these harmful and illegal substances is to state your decision to yourself and others with confidence. You can also choose friends who are substance-free. If someone persists in trying to persuade you to have a drink or to use drugs, use one of these responses in Figure 9.8. If someone offers you drugs or alcohol, you can use one of these responses. Can you think of an additional response that would be equally effective? Get that stuff away from me. You can be arrested for having it. No way, I'm not being thrown off the team. I'm having a better time without drinking. No thanks, I like having my brain cells working. Are you kidding? My parents would ground me forever. Well, that's all my stuff when I was your age. Again, one of the reasons I say no to drugs, again, even marijuana, which is legal, is I will lose my job. I will lose my job with the state, with the district, all this. Again, I don't want to not figure out a way to not pay for my house, not pay for my car, not pay for my bills. That's just foolish. And again, I want my brain cells to work the way they work already. Thank you very much. Alternatives to drug and alcohol use. When you refuse drugs and alcohol, you may want to suggest a positive alternative. An alternative is another way of thinking or acting. If a person you are with wants to sneak a beer, you might suggest playing video games instead. Or healthy alternatives include the following. Have fun at drug-free and alcohol-free events. Asking questions about an event ahead of time can help you avoid situations where alcohol and other drugs are present, which should happen with kids your age. Improve your talents. Choose an activity you like and practice it until you become an expert. Become a great skateboarder, a computer whiz, or the best artist at school. If you like writing stories, poetry, drawing, again, do that. So many of you guys love video games. Heck, you love watching YouTube videos of people playing video games. Get good at video games. So good that, people want to have you make a YouTube channel to where you get paid to have people watching you play video games. You can't do that all high on alcohol and drugs. Be part of a group. Join a sports team, a club, a community group, a network of substance-free friends with a common interest that will help you feel confident and supported. Start your own business. Let friends and neighbors know that you're available for babysitting, yard work, or other odd jobs. Post a sign advertising your business at a local supermarket or community theater. Again, we're not going to do the refusal skills because we can talk about this on our own. Page 249. Help for families of substance abusers. Drug and alcohol abuse doesn't just harm users, it also affects friends and family. Several organizations provide help and support for people whose lives are affected by loved ones' addiction to alcohol or drugs. Local phone books can help people find these organizations. These include hospitals, substance abuse treatment centers, and special groups. Alateen helps children of alcoholic parents learn how to cope with problems at home. We'll look up all these on websites and I'll show you. Al-Anon helps family members and friends of alcoholics learn more about the disease. They also discuss how to meet their own needs. And Nar-Anon, similar to Al-Anon, holds meetings for families of drug addicts. Many organizations help families and friends of substance abuse. Do you know where you can find help if you need it? Besides the ones we listed. We'll talk about that. Pause. Unpause. Okay, we're not going to do any of the lesson review questions. Instead, I'm going to pass out, a piece of blank printer paper. And you guys, for the rest of the week, you're going to have a homework project for the rest of the week, which is by Thursday, I want you to come with your best possible poster. Some type of artistic project saying, why we should say no to drugs, why we should say no to alcohol. Not just at your age, but again, lifelong. Again, there are drugs that no matter if you're a teenager or if you're 90, you should always say no to because there's just no good reason to do it. Again, yes, we understand that at 21 you are legally able to buy and use alcohol and cigarettes and, depending on the state, marijuana. But even then, why you should not just abuse those because you are of legal age, because even abusing those can screw up your life. All right, kiddos. As always, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Remote learners, please message me through Schoolology or unmute yourself. Thank you very much, Pirates, and have a super sparkly day.